is going on, YouTube? Lamont at large. Today we're in Fontana, California. I got a couple stories for you. First, we're going to start off with this. This actually just happened not too long ago. A social media influencer and her date were shot and killed right in front of where I'm standing at the sushi restaurant here by a jealous ex-husband. Back on June 21st of 2025, 40-year-old Gloria Zamora and her boyfriend, 43-year-old Hector Garduño, they go to this sushi restaurant right here on a date. Now they're done eating and they step out the doors right there. It's about 9:45 p.m. and a man who was later identified as Gloria's ex-husband, 45-year-old Thomas Lizarraga, approaches the couple with a gun. And according to eyewitnesses, he shoots Hector a couple times and then points towards his ex-wife and shoots her. Just by dumb luck, as these shots are going off, an off-duty San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy happens to be driving right down this street right here. So he hears the gunshots, he turns around and sees this guy with a gun. So he, over there, makes a U-turn, comes back to the street right here, and he sees this guy, Thomas, running from the scene. And I don't know if he says, "Stop, I'm a deputy," or whatever, but he takes his weapon and shoots Thomas several times, thus killing him. 911 is called, of course. They rush to the scene, and they take Gloria and Hector to the hospital, and sadly they would both be pronounced deceased. Gloria is described online as what they refer to nowadays as a social media influencer. She had about 160,000 followers on Instagram and 90,000 on TikTok, and she was a personal trainer here in the area, and she had 7 kids, ages 8 to 24, and Hector, he had 4. That's a lot of kids to lose their mother and their father, all for a jealous, weird lunatic. So Gloria has a podcast where just a few weeks before her murder, she had spoke about how she was leaving her husband and basically saying that, he was, in other words, just being negative towards her, saying that she can't do this, she can't do this, blah, blah, blah.
Instead of you being supportive, you're over here trying to just bring me down, tell me that I can't do this. You think you're all that? You think you're all that for you to go and work out and think that you can be on social media? Like, come on, man. Like, you're not even all that. Like, look, you have all these stretch marks. Like, really? Do you really think you're all that you can do that?
His insecurities are yelling to you.
Yes.
And sadly enough, this guy was such a lunatic that he decided to follow her here, of course, and shoot and kill her and her boyfriend. This is the location right where they were shot and killed. As you can see, people have left some flowers here and some candles burning. So there's a couple of GoFundMes that were made in Gloria and Hector's name. So on the GoFundMe for Gloria, her daughter wrote about her mother, quote, "My mother was more than just a mother. She was a light in her community. She uplifted and inspired countless women, reminding them of their worth, their strength, and their potential. She always said women could do anything they set their minds to." And she lived those words every day. And for Hector Garduño, quote, "He was a loving, devoted, hardworking man that was tragically murdered and gone too soon. He lived life with strength and did everything he could do for his 4 kids." Yeah, just crazy. I mean, if the woman doesn't want nothing to do with you, she doesn't want nothing to do with you. But most guys get the hit. Sadly, there's tens of millions and millions of people, and some of those guys, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. 66 miles away here in Laguna Beach, got a sad story that happened right here in front of me. It's Memorial Day, May 26, 2025. It's about 4:15 p.m. 64-year-old James Politoski is giving his 15-year-old daughter a driving lessons. Now, they have done this before. They live in the area, and they would come to this parking lot because it's usually empty. This is where Gelson's used to be. So they were driving a Volkswagen convertible, and it's probably because it was a convertible is why this man sadly lost his life. You can kind of see the markings of where the car traveled. So he's giving his daughter a driving lesson, and she would be parked right in this parking space right over here. And as soon as she crashes through the gate right here, as you can kind of see, it's been painted and replaced. She would go tumbling 40 feet right over this embankment. Came flying down right here and landed right in front of me on top of its roof, or what should have been a roof. It's not exactly clear if the top were up, but it wouldn't have mattered if it were or not, because it's not going to provide much protection when you're crashing off of an embankment and landing on the roof. And sadly, he was pronounced dead at the scene. His daughter was taken to a hospital with what they call significant injuries. Those injuries aren't very clear, but giving his daughter a driving lesson proved fatal. 60 miles away, back here in Los Angeles, it's late night Monday going to early morning Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. It's about 2:30 in the morning here in Hollywood. Now, at that time of the night going into the morning, there's not a lot open when it comes to food. So if you live in Hollywood, one of the very few choices other than going into a food trailer is going to be this place right here, Bossa Nova. It's a pizza place. They're open till 4 a.m. according to the sign. So on that date, 23-year-old Jose Ruiz Gutierrez is with his girlfriend, and they pull up and they're going to get something to eat. Well, according to eyewitnesses, as many as 8 people surround the SUV, and they pull out their weapons, I'm assuming, or maybe they just made it seem like they did. And Jose's girlfriend has something on that either they want or they're thinking because the vehicle is fancy that they got some kind of money. I guess these guys never heard of a car note. All because you have a $80,000 G-Wagon doesn't mean you have G-Wagon money. So Jose, he's ready for things like this. He's armed. So as soon as he jumps out of his SUV, one of the suspects shoots him immediately. And then they take off in opposite directions. 911 is called, paramedics arrive, and sadly, Jose would lose his life. So it would be about a few months later, going into the following year of 2022 in January, when some tips start coming in as to the identity of these individuals. So the police departments in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, and Fontana, they made their sweeps of the suspects' homes, and 4 individuals were arrested. It's these guys right here. You have 21-year-old Jayon Sanders, 20-year-old Abraham Castillo, 20-year-old Tyree Singleton, and 24-year-old Marquise Ford. Now, all these guys were charged with first-degree murder, second-degree attempted robbery, and one of the other guys, he was wanted on some carjacking/home invasion. So these 4 individuals were arrested. However, I believe the the one guy right there, he was actually able to bail out Singleton. I think that's the one that bailed out. So, and also, coincidentally enough, between all of the raids on their homes, police recovered $30,000 in cash, some designer handbags, and some gang paraphernalia. Also, they recovered a gun and what they're calling a replica gun, probably a BB gun or something like that. So as the recording of this video, this case, even though it happened, about 3.5 years ago, they're still, other than the guy that bailed out, they're still sitting in jail, charged with that murder. So they'll probably just, they probably got priors. They're facing life in prison. So more than likely, they're just going to take it to trial and hope for the best. And a young man who was armed and was ready for that moment, unfortunately, 1 against 8, and probably a couple of them have guns. You sometimes sadly got to be quicker to the draw than the threat that is coming up to you. Very, very dangerous. I grew up in this city, and it is, I'm telling you, I'm going to call it the way I see it. I want to say there's more scumbags in Los Angeles than there is in New York City. I'm calling it. I used to say that New York was the scumbag capital of the world. No offense to anybody from New York, it is what it is. I got love for New York from afar, of course. But LA, I believe they've taken the crown as a scumbag capital of the United States. No offense to anybody from Los Angeles, but I got love for LA, usually from afar. Unfortunately now, here I am. And a young man, 23 years of age, had to lose his life over nothing, over what those idiots thought that they had. Incredible. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I'm gonna jump on my electric scooter, and on we go to the next video. Catch up with you on the next video. Peace out.